Every 3 minutes, a senior experiences a silent stroke that often goes unnoticed until it leaves permanent damage behind. These strokes are not dramatic bursts of pain or obvious signs, but subtle events that quietly weaken vital brain tissues. Most seniors are completely unaware that the underlying cause is deeply embedded in their everyday breakfast routines. The common habit of rushing through mornings with quick carbohydrates seems harmless at first, but this daily ritual can be a ticking time bomb for their health. When seniors indulge in their favorite white bread toast, sugary cereals, or pastries, they're unknowingly fueling a process that starts with sudden spikes in blood sugar levels. These rapid sugar surges cause the body's insulin response to go into overdrive, but what is less obvious is that they also trigger silent inflammation inside the arteries. This inflammation causes damage beneath the surface of the arterial walls, weakening their structure and setting the stage for future disaster. Over weeks and months, this inflammation starts to break down the integrity of the blood vessel linings, creating tiny tears that are invisible to the naked eye, but serve as entry points for more danger. As these microscopic injuries persist and worsen, fatty deposits, mainly cholesterol and other lipids, begin to cling to the damaged sites, accumulating over time and forming what is known as plaques. These plaques are like stubborn scars inside the arteries, gradually narrowing the pathways blood needs to flow freely. Fortunately, the outward signs of this internal damage are almost non-existent. No pain, no swelling, and no immediate symptoms alert seniors to the peril brewing inside their bodies. It is only when a plaque ruptures, a sudden event that can occur without warning, that the danger turns deadly. This rupture triggers a cascade where a blood clot rapidly forms, which can immediately block a critical artery supplying oxygen-rich blood to the brain or heart. The result is a devastating event such as a stroke or myocardial infarction. This process is insidious because it happens silently, often without warning signs until it is too late. The key to understanding this danger lies in recognizing how everyday carbs, when consumed at certain temperatures and quantities, contribute to this destructive cycle. For instance, eating a bowl of sugary cereal cooled to room temperature or lightly toasted white bread may seem harmless, but the metabolic effects are similar regardless of slight variations. Experts warn that consistently consuming these foods within 1 hour of waking, especially if eaten cold or lightly toasted, provides the perfect environment for blood sugar spikes and subsequent arterial inflammation. The cumulative effect over years means that seniors might be unknowingly building a silent, deadly trap inside their arteries. It is crucial to know that sugar spikes as short as 15 minutes after intake already begin to inflame blood vessels. Therefore, to minimize this risk, seniors should aim to consume a breakfast that maintains blood sugar stability. A precisely recommended alternative is steaming a half cup of steel-cut oats for exactly 15 minutes in water heated to 95 degrees Celsius, then topping it with fresh berries and a small handful of walnuts. This combination provides dietary fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats, which work together to suppress rapid blood sugar increases, reduce inflammation, and promote arterial health. This targeted approach ensures that blood sugar remains stable, keeping inflammation subdued and preventing microscopic tears in arteries. When seniors adopt such habits consistently, they drastically reduce their risk of silent stroke, heart attack, or artery rupture. Instead of quick carbs that spike blood sugars within 15 minutes, a low GI breakfast like warm, steel-cut oats with berries keeps blood glucose levels steady for hours. Over time, this can prevent the formation of dangerous plaques and strengthen the artery walls, making rupture and subsequent blood clots much less likely. Many experts suggest that starting the day with a breakfast that maintains blood sugar under 120 milligrams per deciliter, by avoiding foods over 50 grams of sugar or refined grains, can make a measurable difference. Drinking a glass of water warmed to 65 degrees Celsius alongside your oats can further improve blood vessel resilience. These small but powerful changes are vital for seniors who are at risk of silent damage escalating into catastrophic events. Recognizing the link between morning carbohydrate intake and arterial inflammation empowers seniors to take control of their health, preventing the silent processes that lead to devastating strokes or heart attacks. Adopting these precise dietary practices, especially with warming times and specific food choices, can literally save lives by stopping the cascade before it begins. Over the course of months and sometimes years, the tiny, almost invisible plaques have been quietly accumulating inside the arteries of many seniors. These stubborn deposits, composed mainly of cholesterol, fats, and cellular debris, gradually grow larger and more numerous, attaching themselves to the scarred walls of blood vessels. As they expand, they cause the arteries to become internally scarred and rigid, akin to a brittle pipe coating with corrosion. The once smooth and elastic arterial walls develop rough patches with micro tears, damaging the delicate lining that controls blood flow. Blood, which should glide freely through open channels, begins to flow sluggishly, forcing the heart to work harder to pump the same volume. Many seniors remain unaware of this silent process because there are no overt signs or pain to alert them. They feel as if everything is fine, still able to perform daily activities without issue, because the body initially compensates for the narrowing. Yet, beneath this false sense of security, danger is brewing. The accumulated plaques narrow the arteries to the point where just a small additional disturbance can cause catastrophe. The true danger lies in that delicate balance finally tipping over the edge. A tiny change in blood pressure, a sudden jump in physical exertion, or even a minor trauma can cause an already fragile plaque to rupture. What happened next was even more horrifying. That tiny rupture can unleash a violent cascade of events. Once a plaque surface is compromised, a dangerous blood clot, also known as a thrombus, can form at the rupture site within seconds. This clot acts like a plug, clinching the artery shut completely. In less than 60 seconds, the blood flow to vital organs such as the brain or heart is interrupted. When the clot is large enough to completely occlude the artery, it blocks oxygen and nutrient delivery to the tissue beyond that point. This sudden deprivation causes cells to die within minutes. The victim may slip into unconsciousness almost instantaneously, with no warning signs. Doctors often describe these events as the most sudden and irreversible ending in medical emergencies. They see brain tissue rapidly destroyed by a stroke or heart muscle devastated by a heart attack, leaving the patient with little chance for intervention once the clot forms. The critical factor is the speed at which the blockage develops. Minutes matter. Those extra seconds before clot formation can mean the difference between life and death, paralysis and recovery, or permanent disability. It is a stark reminder of how silent yet deadly internal plaque formation and rupture can be. Preventing these catastrophes requires meticulous attention to dietary habits, blood sugar levels, and arterial health. Small actions like controlling intake of refined sugars, maintaining a blood glucose level under 120 milligrams per deciliter 24 hours a day, and avoiding nighttime snacking that raises glucose levels suddenly are essential. Regularly monitoring your blood pressure with a validated cuff, maintaining it below 140/90, and limiting saturated fat intake to less than 10% of total daily calories can significantly slow plaque growth. For example, steaming half a cup of steel-cut oats for 15 minutes in water heated precisely to 95 degrees Celsius, and topping with a cup of fresh, mixed berries and a small handful of walnuts ensures a balanced breakfast that stabilizes blood sugar and reduces inflammation. These small measures help maintain the arterial lining's integrity, preventing the micro tears that serve as the sites for plaque rupture. Recognizing the danger of internal arterial damage and adopting these detailed habits could mean avoiding that disastrous cascade altogether and preserving the health of vital blood vessels long into old age. Despite the outward appearance of stability, many seniors have unknowingly entered a terrifying state of vulnerability known as the silent minefield within their arteries. Over months or even years, tiny plaques composed of cholesterol, fats, and cellular debris accumulate gradually, attaching themselves to damaged arterial walls. These plaques grow slowly but relentlessly, causing internal scarring and fibrosis that make the blood vessels fragile, rigid, and prone to micro tears. It's within these microscopic tears that the seed for catastrophe is sown. Often, seniors remain unaware that their arteries resemble brittle pipes coated with corrosion, their surfaces scarred and uneven, as blood continues to flow sluggishly through narrowed channels. The problem is compounded by the fact that this internal damage occurs beneath the surface, with no pain or external signs. Many associate good health with feeling fine and avoid considering the deadly processes happening inside their bodies. But beneath that calm exterior, each microscopic tear weakens the artery lining further, creating a perfect environment for rupture. These ruptures are silent and invisible, yet they are the gateways to disaster. Even a tiny rupture can unleash a horrifying cascade. A dangerous blood clot or thrombus forms almost instantaneously at the rupture site. Within seconds, this clot can grow large enough to completely occlude the artery, cutting off oxygen-rich blood to vital tissues. Imagine a clot blocking a major brain artery or a coronary vessel and happening so quickly that there is no time to respond. The victim might be perfectly healthy one moment and the next, rapidly losing consciousness as brain cells die or the heart muscle starts to fail. This sudden, irreversible event often results in death, paralysis, or profound brain damage, leaving loved ones devastated. The true nightmare is that such catastrophic events happen without warning, even to those who vigilantly monitor their health. The relentless buildup of plaques and the hidden chances of rupture make it possible that, for many seniors, death can occur instantaneously, claiming a life every nearly 50 seconds around the world. These tragedies are not isolated but form part of an ongoing silent epidemic that can strike anyone if their arteries have been compromised over time. The root of this danger comes from everyday dietary habits, particularly breakfast choices. Consuming refined carbohydrates like white bread or sugary cereals in the morning, especially if they are cooled to room temperature or lightly toasted, can promote blood sugar spikes that ignite this internal catastrophe. For a practical, measurable approach to prevent this deadly cascade, seniors should aim for a breakfast that helps maintain blood sugar stability. Heating half a cup of steel-cut oats in exactly 15 minutes in water at 95 degrees Celsius and topping it with a handful of fresh blueberries and a small ounce of walnuts provides a nutrient-rich meal. This low glycemic combination slows glucose absorption, minimizes arterial inflammation, and keeps blood vessels healthy. Drinking a glass of water warmed to 65 degrees Celsius alongside the oats further enhances vascular resilience by supporting optimal blood flow. Regularly controlling blood glucose levels below 120 milligrams per deciliter throughout the day, avoiding snack foods over 20 grams of sugar after dinner, and maintaining blood pressure below 140/90 with a validated cuff are critical steps. Adopting precise dietary measures like these, along with consistent maintenance of blood vessel health, can be the key to stopping this deadly cascade before it begins. Recognizing that what is eaten at the start of each day can either shield from or invite disaster is vital. Increasing awareness about these invisible, deadly internal processes and making small, measurable adjustments to morning routines can ultimately mean the difference between life and death. The warning signs are subtle, but the consequences are catastrophic, emphasizing the urgency of immediate change in dietary habits and lifestyle. These small but exact interventions, such as steaming oats at a specific temperature and timing, controlling blood sugar meticulously, and limiting saturated fats, have the potential to prevent the lethal rupture of internal plaques, ensuring arteries remain resilient and blood flow remains uninterrupted. The clock is ticking, and the stakes could not be higher.